Downtimes and stresses don't disappear just because of the season. We all have to continue living this life, and each of us have challenges to face personal to ourselves. Understanding and expressing these negative feelings is not a bad thing. It helps us to filter and grow. This vlog is a story about my life. It's kind of turning into something like therapy, allowing me to go over my days and just understand what happened and what I could have done better. This is my journey, and on every journey there's both the good and the bad. But that's what makes it real. It's genuine, and it's from real situations that the greatest tales are made. Everything is based in some sort of truth. Welcome to VLOGMAS Day 4. So, I had an entirely different video actually prepared for the vlog today, but, as seen on my stream, I'm not in a very good mood. And, I was gonna just leave it and not talk about it, but I figured, it's a vlog, and if I want to tell a story, then I gotta tell all the different sides of it. I'm trying to create fictional stories based off of realistic characters and realistic situations. And so when I'm going through situations where I'm not feeling the best, I feel like it might be a good idea to document it, like right now, like video document the situation and be able to talk about it with you openly, because why not, right? Why hide that I'm feeling bad? Why hide that I'm actually human and I have to deal with these types of situations too? Because, it happens to the best of us. As much as we all want to pretend like we don't get angry about stuff, or like stuff doesn't upset us or make us feel sad, it's a bunch of garbage. Of course, when we're on the internet and we're on social media, we've got a character to play, but sometimes you don't want to play that character. Sometimes your character is the real you, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now. Again, the stories I'm trying to create have to do with both the good and the bad. It's different types of relationships, and so that's what I want to talk about. When you put yourself out there and you allow yourself to connect with another human being, you're kind of taking on a risk, right? Like, you're taking on this risk that if you do something to disappoint that person, they have an actual they can have an impact on your life. When somebody's a stranger and you disappoint them, who cares? It's a stranger. Some people have enough empathy to really care, but a lot of people do not have the empathy to really give that much of a crap about a stranger if they upset that person. But when you open up your heart and you let in a person, even if it's not that close, but you still let them in, you still let them become part of your life, it's a bigger risk for you to be like, for you to even let them get to that point, because you might have a falling out. Something might happen and you might lose that person, and then that's actually going to affect you and change the way that you connect with them or connect with people, or, just hurt you and damage you, right? And it's like, how do you deal with these types of feelings, It's like, I'm still struggling trying to figure this out. First of all, I'm trying to figure out, what is the purpose of making friends in the first place? Like, what is the point in doing it? It's great that I'm able to make friends with people. That's a really good skill. I'm not delusional enough to not think that that's true. At the same time, though, sometimes I feel like, being okay with being alone is also a super important skill that you have to have, because these dynamics, right? When it comes down to it, in every single situation that you go through, there's always two sides to that story, right? And I don't feel like, in a lot of situations with human dynamics, I don't feel like there's always just one true answer. I don't think one person is always 100% correct in the way that they're thinking. I feel like there's an opening or understanding. There's a way that you can understand how the other person feels or thinks about a certain situation if you really look deep enough into it. But it's hard because pride gets in the way. Pride and anger and emotion gets in the way. If you have a disagreement with somebody that you care about, the care for them, I feel like that adds an extra level of defense, because you feel almost personally offended that person would think something lightly of you, and it adds a completely silent, it's like an unspoken extra level of nonsense and conflict between the two of you, or whatever group that you're in, when you're having this disagreement. Because now it's not only like, the person A did something to person B. Now it's person A did something to person B, but person B should never have thought about it in that way because person A never meant it that way. But because they were friends and they should have known each other well enough, now it's a bigger problem on both sides. Now they're both clashing because this is like, you're my buddy, you're my friend, you should have known that this isn't how I meant that thing to be. And the other person's just like, yeah, but you said this specifically, so I felt this way. Also, since we are friends, you never should have done that to me. And now you've got this big argument, you've got this big problem where the two of you are fighting about something that is bigger than the issue that was actually at hand in the first place. And this isn't even uncommon. This thing happens this type of situation happens all the time. You know, especially within romantic relationships, when two couples are too proud and they've got too much, almost, it's like they have too much on the line to even back down off of this. And now here's the biggest problem. Here's another problem that comes in with this as well. Now, if one of these people wants to actually apologize, it's hard to do that, because if you apologize, then you lose your leverage. If you're up here and the other person's up here too, and you say, oh, I'm sorry, it feels like you're stepping down here now, right? And if you're down here, then the other person goes, yeah, you're right, you shouldn't have done that, or you are in the wrong. Now you feel like, why the hell did I even apologize to you in the first place? Now I feel like lesser and this person's winning. Even though at the end of the day, it's not about winners and losers. The only people that are winning are the people that have dealt with the problem and have come to a sound conclusion, because you're friends, or you're family, or you're in love and you're a couple. That's the most important thing. But it's like as humans, we're so attracted to this conflict that we just connect in the worst ways. We just clash like this instead of just coming together, you know. And it's all about winning and losing. It's all about this pride and this unseen stuff. It's all about the hurt feelings that you feel but you're not saying. And I'm not saying that another person's just doing this to me. I'm saying that I'm doing this to other people. I am 100% guilty of this, and I apologize for it, for all the people that I've done it to, you know. I don't want to be like this anymore, but I feel like it's just part of being human. I don't want to wreck or ruin relationships or friendships, and I don't want to feel that extra pressure knowing that getting into a friendship with another person is going to open up the doors and the gates to something like this possibly happening. It's scary. It's 100% scary, and it makes me want to just hermit and just stay away from people and not meet people, because the less people that I meet, the less chances I have that this type of stuff is going to happen. What do? You just hide away? Do you just give in to the social anxiety? Do you just give in to not wanting to see people anymore? Who do you cut off? Your old friends? Your family? You know? Just strangers in the street? Do you not go for walks anymore? Do you not go outside at all? What do you do? How do you deal with this type of thing? Anytime you deal with another human being, you're opening yourself up to some sort of risk. Every single time. And that risk can be from violent to emotional. And everything in between. You open yourself up to something. Somebody's going to disagree with you. Somebody's not going to agree with something that you say, and that's going to offend you at some point. And when that happens, are you going to reside? Are you going to close up and go back into yourself? I know a lot of people that are dealing with that kind of stuff right now. A lot of people who just can't take it. They can't take the fact that somebody disagrees with them, somebody thinks differently, and it hits them and it offends them personally. Even though the other person probably does not even one malice bone in their body, at least towards that person, because they're not invested in them, right? It's just a regular back and forth conversation, but this person connects with them and wants to hear one thing, gets another response, and suddenly this is a personal thing. And this happens to a lot of us, you know?
Lost satellite reception.
There's not much more I can even say about it. This is just how it is. This is how I feel today. I wanted to get this off my chest. I feel like this is a good case study. It's a good study for a story, you know? This is my story right now. This is what I'm going through. But I feel like I can apply it to the story of my characters. I want to know though, have you guys gone through it? Do you guys also feel this type of stuff? Like, do you understand what I'm saying when I say this? Do you feel that connection? Are you the one that always wants to be above? Can you let down your guard and say sorry? Can you let down your guard and let someone in close enough to the point that they can affect you in a way that can hit you so emotionally? I'm curious, and I hope that I can connect with you guys on this, but yeah, I guess today's video is bust. Alright, I'll be back for tomorrow's. Peace.